The 2017 Warriors entered the Chat A, team that had just won 73 games added. Kevin Durant behind the back Durant too, though with 2 league MVPs, a defensive player of the year and the best two-way shooting guard in the game. The Warriors obliterated every team in the NBA, setting the best playoff record in NBA history, but did Kevin Durant's titles with state certify his place among the top 10 players ever, and are the 2017 Warriors really the best team of all time? Obviously, we will never know, but you put us on paper with them. I like our chances in the last 10 years. It's not difficult to say who was the best organization in the NBA, from the team owner to the cleaning lady. There is no better organized franchise than the Golden State Warriors in 2023. The Warriors were worth $7.7 billion, twice as much as the average NBA franchise. Other than the Dallas Cowboys, the Warriors are the most valuable sports franchise in the world, and if someone predicted this back in 2010, you'd call them insane. Back then, the Warriors were almost a laughing stock, a fun little squad that rarely made the playoffs, and the 4th best team in California until Joe Law bought the team for $450 million, and everything changed. Law immediately started making big moves, firing legendary coach Don Nelson, trading then Dub's best player and crowd favorite Monty Ellis, and hiring inexperienced Bob Myers as general manager. All 3 moves were extremely unpopular with the Oakland fan base, but Lob and Myers soon proved to be 3 steps ahead of everyone else when it came to building a winning team. If you look up there, that is a very lonely hill. We won another one while the new GM did inherit the best shooter of all time. Myers immediately tied Steph to a team-friendly contract. He'd then go on to draft Klay Thompson, Harrison Barnes, and Draymond Green. In 2014, Myers hired Steve Kerr and brought in impactful vets like Andrew Bogut, Andre Iguodala, and Sean Livingston. In their first season under Coach Kerr, the Warriors ran circles around everybody with hectic pace and unbelievable shooting from their star backcourt, doing what seemed unimaginable just a few years ago, winning the 2015 NBA championship. We did it begin in 2016. The league didn't get the memo on how to catch up with the Warriors, and they set the new NBA record for wins in the regular season with 73 wins and just 9 losses. However, burdened by chasing the record, the Dubs ran out of steam and were defeated in the 2016 finals, but this loss proved to be a blessing in disguise because they weren't crowned champions, and because of an enormous spike in salary cap thanks to a new NBA TV deal, the Warriors were able to sign Kevin Durant, universally recognized as the 2nd best player on the planet. The whole world called KD a coward, a traitor, a snake, a cupcake, and God knows what else. Well, I'm viewing it as the weakest move I've ever seen from a superstar, plain and simple. That's just how I look at it. But the truth was that KD needed the Warriors, and the Warriors needed him. When the 2017 season started, the Warriors were virtually unbeatable, cruising through the season without any problems. KD was incorporated seamlessly into the Warriors' offense, and Kerr didn't have to find weird strategies for their 4 stars to share the ball. KY played the most unselfish basketball of his career, because for the first time ever, he didn't have to score a single point, and his team could still win the game. Golden State won 67 games with the highest offensive rating in NBA history, 2nd best defense in the league, and the 3rd best net rating in NBA history. It seemed like the Warriors turned on the PlayStation, entered a cheat code, and played the entire season in God mode. They made it through the playoffs without losing a single game, sweeping all 3 of their series in the West, and then in the finals, a familiar opponent awaited. LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers, the defending champs, had been uber dominant themselves, losing just 1 playoff game on their road to the finals. But unlike the 2015 and 2016 finals, where LeBron was by far the best player on the court, the Warriors had the perfect antidote to King James. KD not only did Durant bring in an offensive dimension to the Warriors that they didn't have before, but he also brought a defensive presence, and his mobility as a near 7-footer made it difficult for James to drive to the basket at will. In the first 2 games, the Warriors obliterated the Cavs. Turnovers created unsolvable problems for Cleveland as they gave up numerous easy points to the Warriors' insane pace down the lane. But even when all 5 Cavs managed to get on defense on time, they were murdered with the Durant-Curry pick and roll. The Cavs had a potent offense, but the Dubs' ability to knock down three-pointers in succession hit Cleveland like an avalanche. In all 77 years of NBA history, there wasn't a team that could switch on the turbo quite like that and increase a 2-point lead to 20+ in 3 minutes. Pass all the way across, and Durant throws it down. However, when the series returned to Cleveland for Game 3, the Cavs looked much better, and their offense kept them in the lead for much of the game. It seemed like LeBron and company would win the game and keep the series alive, but then, in the final minute, Ty launched one of the most cold-blooded shots in NBA Finals history. Durant for three. It's good. Kevin Durant from downtown, and State takes the lead. Cleveland still had a chance to win it, but suddenly they couldn't buy a bucket, and they didn't score a single point in the final 3 minutes. The Warriors won the game, snatching a 30-0 series lead. Then the Cavs somehow managed to win Game 4 in what was arguably the best offensive game ever in the finals, hitting 24 threes, an NBA playoff record, but it was clear to everybody that they couldn't sustain that kind of shooting and win the ring against these Warriors in Game 5. Golden State finished the job, finishing the playoffs with 16 wins and only one loss, which was the best postseason run in NBA history. There it is, redemption for Golden State. One of the great playoff runs of all time is complete. KD finally won that first title that had eluded him for so long. He averaged an unreal 35.2 points, 8.6 rebounds, 5.2 assists, 1 steal, and 1.6 blocks per game, while shooting 56% from the field, 47% from three, and 93% on free throws. It was one of the best finals performances of all time, and of course KD won the finals MVP. And yet, despite Durant's and Golden State's greatness, the basketball world wasn't impressed. A lot of people enjoyed seeing y'all lose in 2016 in May. A lot of those people were upset that we were so good, and they're still upset. When KD joined the Warriors, it was kind of expected that they should win, and their championship looked too easy. They had 2 MVPs on their team, a reigning Defensive Player of the Year, and Klay Thompson, the best two-way shooting guard in the NBA. All of them were at average age of 27, which is considered a prime for basketball players. At Iguodala, Sean Livingston, David West, JaVale McGee, and Zaza Pachulia, all playing phenomenal basketball off the bench. And then you have an absolute juggernaut. Their offense had so many systematic solutions and so much talent that defenses had to pick their poison, either give up a wide open dunk or let 3 of the best shooters ever have an open shot. Golden State's defense was mobile and super connected. They created a lot of turnovers and killed opponents in transition. Sure, they didn't have a dominant post scorer, and if they faced a top talent on the low block like Prime Shaw, that would certainly give them problems. But given the style of play and the state of the league in 2017, those were minimal flaws. However, it's one thing to dominate, and it's a whole different ball game to become a dynasty. We know how tough it's going to be. We know how hard it is to be the best team in the league. I think we're all ready for that challenge, and in 2018, this unbelievable Warriors team had a tougher road than anyone expected. They won 58 games in the regular season. Their defense dropped out of the top 10 best in the league, and overall they didn't look as smooth and connected as they did the year before. Injuries played their part, but still the Dubs had so much talent that they easily won the first round against the Spurs, despite Curry not playing in the second round. Steph returned, and they defeated the Pelicans in 5 games, securing a matchup that every NBA fan hoped for, a clash with the number 1 seeded Rockets in the league. MVP James Harden. The Rockets built their whole roster to be able to match up with the Warriors, and suddenly Golden State's players looked mortal again. Houston pushed the Warriors out of their comfort zone by slowing down the pace as much as possible with an average possession lasting 18 seconds. They also attacked the Warriors one-on-one to avoid double teams, and they killed the Dubs last with their offensively rebounding. But whenever Kerr had faced a deficit in any game, he simply used the death line, which no team had an answer for except for Houston, with PJ Tucker at center and long defenders at the wings. The Rockets neutralized the best 5-man lineup in NBA history with their own version of small ball with dominant switch defenses. The Rockets shut down Golden State's motion offense and forced them to attack